Well, greeting people at the door after Easter services, Pastor Jane was delighted to shake hands with seldom seen Steve. And even more delighted when he complimented her on her sermon and said the service and the music were amazing. And faced with such evidence of faithfulness, she asked why he didn't come to church more often. "I'm just following the Lord's example," he said. "If Jesus can rise up early only one Sunday a year, that's good enough for me too." It's hard to find Easter humor. It's very serious. Oh. So here we are. Here we are on Easter Sunday once again. And there's a special energy around Easter, isn't it? You know, regardless of whether you grew up in church or, if this is something that's been sacred to your heart, for many years, because most of us, I'm going to assert here in this room, have probably come from a more traditional Christian tradition. And so Easter had a special place, I know, in my heart in my Southern Baptist days, and now it's just taken on new meaning. So for those of you that are new to Unity, how we look at this day and the whole Holy Week and what we did on Good Friday was we look at the story of Jesus metaphysically, meaning we just go beyond the literal story for the purpose of seeing how we can bring meaning from that story into our lives and then practically apply it. Sounds pretty good, huh? All right. So today I want to talk to you about miracles. Yeah, so today is supposed to be kind of the day of the miracle of Jesus. Jesus, the whole story was, the whole crucifixion on Friday. And he was buried in the tomb, and the tomb was sealed. And then on this day, as Mary Magdalene and her friend came to anoint the body with oils, they found the stone rolled away, and Jesus was nowhere to be found until he appeared to them. So I remember growing up hearing, this is Miracle Sunday. It's all about the miracle of Jesus. So I wanted to delve into this whole miracle idea this morning. Get really beyond maybe what we have possibly held it to be for this day. So the definition, according to the dictionary, of a miracle is an effect in the physical world that surpasses all known or natural powers and is therefore ascribed to a supernatural agency. A supernatural agency. So I went digging around and I found this website called miraclestories.com, where there were a total of 20 categories of miracles that were listed with stories that describe details. Things like angel miracles, organ transplant miracles, car wreck miracles, sports miracles, near death, prosperity miracles, healing miracles, hearing God's voice miracles, all kinds of miracles. So, do you believe in miracles? I knew you guys would be an easy crowd. Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to challenge you a little bit on this morning, as I'm kind of known to do. All right, what if there really is no such thing as a miracle? Okay, gasp together. What if miracles are simply an outpicturing of divine law? What if miracles are really just about the allness that we are, being given room to express. Okay, so let me give you an example. So imagine that in Jesus' day, he was visiting, let's say he was visiting Lazarus and Mary and Martha, and he needed to get in touch with the disciples, so he pulled out his cell phone. Okay, now, do you think that Jesus calling his disciples on the cell phone would have been a miracle? Yeah, okay. But right now, in 21st century nowness, it's like breathing. Do you see? So a cell phone, the potential called cell phone, has always been. You know, the whole adage, an idea that time has come because we're ready in consciousness, we're ready in wisdom, we're ready to allow that wisdom to express and create said cell phone. Okay? So, cell phones don't break divine law, they fulfill it. They demonstrate the infinite capacity of creative substance to shape and form itself as we give it room. You see? So, the reason that miracles, we see them extraordinary, is because it's really pretty extraordinary what we are. It's pretty mind-blowing that we're this allness energy. It's pretty amazing. It's hard for us to wrap our head around the infiniteness that we are. And I think that's why we have to call things miracles, because we just go, it just blows our mind. But folks, the truth is, and this is my Easter message, you are that allness. You are the miracle. And that allness that Jesus demonstrated in his resurrection is us. You know, Jesus isn't the exclusion. He taught us what we can be and do. And remember, it was said in John, the book of John, these things shall you do, and even greater things, as you believe, really as you know, and as you claim the allness that you are. And the beautiful thing is that the allness, the infinite substance, creative life essence, is in every flower, in the beautiful blue sky that you see today, on the earth, in the oceans, in every animal, in every beautiful expression of humanity. That's the truth. That's the miracle. And how do we call it forth? Well, I think that we follow Jesus' example, because what he modeled on Good Friday was dying to the old stuff. I really believe that Jesus was in his process to fully claim and know the truth of what he was, and that he had to die to the old to rise strong in his knowing of all that he was. And we can call that a miracle, folks, but what I know is that each of you have also died to the old in your life. I know you have. And I remembered on Good Friday that book by Reverend Robert Brummett, Finding Yourself in Transition, and it always just pops up for me around Easter because it's such a perfect example of the process of rising. You know, in order to have a new beginning, we have to end something, don't we? Yeah. And you know, when you end something, sometimes there needs to be a space of integration, because you're creating space, aren't you? When you let go of an old belief, say, that you've held about yourself, in order to claim a new understanding and a new knowing of all that you are. Sometimes we have to sit with it, don't we? And we have to fill that space from that release with the truth. And so on Good Friday, those of us that were here, we did a hand-washing ritual, and we released that which no longer served us. And we created a prayer to work with in that void. See, there's an ending, there's a beginning, but in between, there's the void. And we usually don't like that space too much. But that's the place where the seeds are planted, and it might look dark. But the feeding of our awareness, the watering of that seed of our claiming the divinity that we are, has us rise strong here on Easter Sunday. So, I know sometimes it can feel pretty overwhelming for us to think that we can demonstrate what Jesus did. But folks, I think that's the whole point. It's the whole point of the Easter story. Again, this is not just about what Jesus did. He modeled for us what we can be, what we can do, what we can claim, and what we can know and express. You know, Dr. Phil was asked about miracles, and he said, if you want a miracle, be a miracle. If you want a miracle, be a miracle. But what that takes from us is to claim our I am. You know, the Buddha said, I am the miracle. I am the miracle. The I am nature that you are is the miracle. And what is ours to do on this beautiful Sunday is to claim it, folks. Is to know it. And to be gentle with ourselves if it feels like we just can't quite get there. All that says to us is, it's time for me to release that which no longer serves me. It's time to let go gently and to claim and know the truth of all that we are. It is time for us to wake up from our slumber and claim the truth. And I'd like to end this morning with a beautiful quote from Sufi mystic Rumi. So I just invite you just to breathe and just open your heart to these beautiful words. If you knew yourself for even one moment, if you could just glimpse your most beautiful face, maybe you wouldn't slumber so deeply in that house of clay. Why not move into your house of joy and shine into every crevice? For you are the secret treasure bearer and always have been. Didn't you know? Didn't you know? So, happy Easter. Happy Easter as you leave here today. And I invite you to do some work with this in this coming week. Just look at releasing something in your life that no longer serves you. And allow yourself to be gentle with that in that process so that you can claim a new beginning in how you see yourself and how you see our world, because our world's calling for it, folks. Our world is calling for us to rise in our knowing of the truth of what we are. So let's affirm together. I am the miracle. I am. And so it is.